Abstract Chain goes live after a rough weekend for crypto, NFTs bleeding out, and Opensea 2 finally opening their doors. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. As usual, I'm not a financial advisor. Hit that subscribe button. Let's jump right into it. Starting off with Abstract, which went live on Monday. It was a highly anticipated event, but unfortunately, at least in my opinion, it's been really underwhelming. And I want to say that launch went super smooth. Unfortunately, degens do what they do. They found the RPC early and they started aping into some meme coins. Unfortunately, this one had been launched for a couple of days, so people were buying in to Pengo. And as you could see, it went straight to zero. So a ton of people's first experience, mine included, was getting rugged on this meme coin. But that's outside of the team's control. They finally did tweet. They posted their platform, which I gotta say, it does work pretty well. There's been a couple of hiccups, like certain of the rewards weren't working. I get some load time issues, but overall, it works great, especially compared to some of the launches we've seen with other chains that were a complete disaster. But my complaint here is that there's nothing to do. Just looking at the Spotlight apps page, like Moonshot and Magic Eden, these are old platforms. Multiplier, you couldn't use it on day one unless you had a code, and now that you can use it, it is not working well at all. Here we have two games that were already live, and then we have Myriad, which is a polymarket type of betting platform. So all of this stuff is things we've already seen or we've already used before. Now they also have streaming, which personally, I don't really care to go watch any of these streamers. I am being asked by a lot of you guys to stream, so maybe I'll hop on and play some video games this weekend, especially that you can earn XP, which is the main thing I think a lot of people are going to be doing on this platform, trying to earn as much XP as possible. And you do this by collecting these badges, which of course a lot of people are speculating is going to get you an Abstract airdrop, which I think is totally in the cards. There's also this perks section, so they're going to have some rewards here that you can earn. I remember in the little snapshot that they took, I think I saw a sliver of something to do with travel. So maybe there's going to be discounts on traveling, or I don't know, a free night at a hotel or whatever that you could spend your XP on. And if you have certain roles like Elite Chad, Graduated Elite Chad, and Giga Chad, as well as if you hold the Pengu token, you are going to get bonus XP. But once you complete these 6 tasks, like, what is there to do? I know there's a few meme coin launchers. Personally, I haven't touched any meme coin after Pengo. There's also NFTs that have been minting, but in my opinion, all of these suck. Like, they're either punk clones, there's rocks. Like, who cares about the rocks? I know Abstract Hot Dogs, some people were hyped about, which it didn't go that high. It's under 0.06, as well as Bearish. This one is actually under its mint price. It minted less than 50%. And I know there's a ton of drama on the timeline about this between like KOLs and founders. Personally, I don't even care about the drama. It is a waste of time. Just focus on finding alpha and making money. Ignore the drama from people who are already very successful. But I think one of the reasons all these NFTs are not performing well is because they're just PFPs and there's not enough liquidity on Abstract or interest for people to come play this game. Like, why would I come and buy any of these PFPs? There's no actual attachment or community that's being built. I can't think of one single NFT project on Abstract that is purely a PFP play that I'm like, oh, I need to be part of this community because this is the future of Abstract. Compared to projects like Barachain, where there's some really hype ones, as well as even Hyperliquid. They have their upcoming EVM launch. I have no idea when it is, but there's already projects minting like Hypeos, which minted on Base. It's going to migrate over to Hyperliquid once they launch the EVM, but this thing is still trading at 15x its mint price. And when you see them on the timeline, you do feel there is that sense of community. So I think that's something that is lacking right now in the Abstract NFTs. And again, it's been 2 days, so it's going to come eventually. But what I'm interested in are the on-chain gaming projects. I think those ones are a lot more interesting. The teams have actually put in real effort in building something, and there's something for the degens to do because there's risk involved, there's money involved. So I think these are the ones that stand the best chance. And those are things like On-Chain Heroes, Gigaverse, Monsters.fun. However, I'm not sure when they're launching. I don't think they're launching in the near future. So right now, Abstract has this chicken and egg problem where there's no good projects launching, but none of the projects want to launch because there's no users on Abstract. So I would love to see a cook on Abstract that's going to start to drive the FOMO. It doesn't mean it's going to work just because one thing cooks. It doesn't mean everybody's going to rush and stop trading on Solana or whatever. But I am searching for these projects. I do know there is Mir AI or Miro, I don't know how to pronounce this, which is launching with Hollow World, who they launched Ava, which was a very successful AI agent, but also a framework. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one performs and if they get a little bit of that AI FOMO on Abstract. But outside of that, there's nothing that really stands out to me. And I think most people are just going to continue playing on Solana where they're used to making money or getting rugged, but at least they know that they have all their tools set up, all of their groups, that's what they're doing. So that's the playground that they're going to continue playing in. Now, to make matters worse, Pudgy Penguins are continuing on the downtrend here. And if we filter by the 30-day, you could see after Pengu dropped, when everybody thought they were going to get an Abstract airdrop, Penguins recovered back to 29 ETH, and they are currently sitting under 11 ETH. That is almost a $60,000 loss if you bought in from the top or if you just didn't sell. And there's also this looming fear with the Blur loans. A ton of them are underwater. Anything past this line here is the current floor. So all of these loans beyond this line, these are basically NFTs where the person who made the loan, they're not going to pay it back, because to pay it back is going to be more expensive than if they just defaulted on the loan. So if we compare this chart to, let's say, Doodles, where it's very healthy, Bored Apes, very healthy, like there's only one that's beyond this line, as well as Mutant Apes. There's a couple, but it's really not that bad. So this is definitely continuing to drive pressure on the Pudgy's floor as more and more people default on their loans. Now we also have Pengu, the official Pudgy Penguins meme coin, which is at the lowest it's been since it launched. So it is continuing on this downtrend. I took a long and I bought some spot. Thankfully, I did sell in this pump right before it started to dump. So I got very lucky here, but the team is under a lot of pressure here. They have 3 NFT collections that they now have to maintain. They have the Pengu token that they have to maintain, and they have Abstract Chain, which I imagine is going to eventually have its token. So that's a lot to support and a lot of people to make happy. And just think, like, if Barachain or Monad or one of these upcoming chains launches in the next few days, that is going to take spotlight, that is going to take liquidity away from Abstract. So while I want them to succeed, they have some challenges ahead of them, and it's going to be interesting to see how they turn this ship around. Now, one NFT collection that I have been collecting, which has been surviving this dump, because it's not just Pudgy Penguins that are going down, it's literally everything, if you just look here, that is going down, but one that is maintaining its floor is Doodles. If we just expand the chart here and filter by 30 days, you can see it's pretty much been ranging between 4 and 5 ETH, just bouncing up and down. And this is due to the fact that they have an upcoming token that they've started to tease. So we have Pudgies and Azuki that are going down because they already did their token, but Doodles is currently able to sustain itself. Maybe by the time you watch this video, it's going to be down to 3 ETH, but at the time of filming, it is at 4.34 ETH. Now, I do hear people's arguments about diminishing returns, where usually only the first one has the best returns and everything after that gets worse and worse. So we had Pengu, which was an amazing airdrop if you sold it at the time of the airdrop, $93,000 if you held a Pudgy. Then we had Anime for Azuki, which did underperform. You were much better off selling your Anime as well as your Azuki, or not even getting Anime, just selling your Azuki at 11 ETH, or obviously if they went up to 14, selling there, but at 11, which was right before the token drop, because right now the floor is at 3.7 and Anime is also down bad. So are people going to be willing to make this same gamble on Doodles? Personally, I do think they will, because people are just addicted to this game and they're always looking for that next casino. So when there is a token announcement, like an official one, when they finally posted from the Doodles account, unless they say there's no airdrop, then obviously GG, we're going to 0. But if it's anything bullish, I expect these to go at least back to 8 ETH. And let me be clear, whether the token does well or not, I'm not going to be holding. All of mine are listed to sell into volume, but I do think the token can do well because of their distribution. The thing I didn't like about Anime for Azuki is it did feel marketed towards a Web3 audience. It felt marketed towards Azuki holders. The only people I knew who were excited about Anime were Azuki holders versus Pudgies. Everybody was excited because everybody was getting an airdrop for it, because they put aside 25% for other communities. So I don't know if Doodles is going to do that, but it does feel like they are positioned in terms of marketing to market beyond Web3, even a Web2 audience, similar to Pudgies. One, the branding, it's colorful, they're cute. I think it appeals to a lot of people. It appeals to families. And then they also have a ton of Web2 partnerships like McDonald's, like Hollywood stars, Pharrell, Lil Wayne, and a bunch more. Now, on the downside here, I do believe it was Julian who was in charge of getting all of those partnerships. And we did today get this announcement from Burnt Toast that Julian is stepping down. They did phrase it as he's stepping up as CEO. So to make this not bearish, it kind of is like a bullish post because a lot of people do know Burnt Toast. And they're also sprinkling in like some words that we like. Here they're talking about the new vision with a strong bias to risk. They mention like AI and crypto, just sprinkling all those words that, you know, get people, and especially NFT people, going. And although there was a little dump on the chart today, a lot of people were accepting bids. I don't think it matters that much. And the CEO news hasn't really damaged the floor. I did hear that Julian was offloading some NFTs. I looked at his wallet and he just has a few sales from a month ago, only 3. And it says send. I assume these were like OTC deals. He's still holding 5. He still has his PFP. If he was doing this and they kind of pumped the floor to get the price to go up with the token announcement and he started selling, yeah, that's kind of sketchy. But personally, my plan has not changed. I'm holding actually 4 Doodles now. I bought another one. I have duplicators. I have Genesis boxes. So I'm still expecting this to go up and I'm willing to make that bet. So now that anime and abstract are out of the way, I think in February, Doodles is going to start pushing their marketing, especially now that they just announced the new CEO. Now, another collection that I've been collecting that is on a dip, you could see it's down to 0.72 when we were so close to breaking a 1 ETH floor, and that's going to be Jirasan. From my understanding, what happened here after talking to the team, basically, when they did the merge for their 3 collections, or I believe it was 3 collections, into one 10K collection being Jirasan, they gave people 6 months to burn or whatever the method was to make this new collection. And after that, it was too bad for you, right? But there's some holders of Gen 2 Godziras, the older NFTs, who they left the space for like 2 years and then they finally come back. They look for their Godziras. They're not there, or however it works, I don't know. And they started, I guess, complaining, saying, hey, I spent money on the secondary market buying this. Like, I deserve to keep my NFT, which I can agree. Like, if I spent thousands of dollars on an NFT and you just take it away because I went AFK for 8 months, I'd be pretty pissed. So the PG team said fine, and they airdropped them some NFTs that they had in their vault. And obviously these holders just came in and they nuked the chart, just accepting bids. Maybe it caused other people to get scared and also accept some bids. But again, I think this is only short-term pain. I'm actually up to 20 now. I did buy more in this dip just to make it in the top 100 holders. And nothing's changed with my thesis here either. Just like Doodles, we're still getting redacted. Hopefully in February, we're getting iAgent in February. And I believe that those airdrops alone could cover the cost of the floor. I could be totally wrong. So don't just think it's going to happen. Do your own research. That is the gamble that I am willing to make. And then on top of that, there's going to be dozens and dozens of more airdrops because their goal is to get to 60 products. Many of them in 2025 are going to have their own tokens, and Jirasan stakers, once they introduce staking with the points, are going to be able to take advantage of that. If you want to find out more, I will link above or in the comments down below an interview that I just did with Shan where we run through all of this. Next up, we have Opensea 2 finally opening their door to a ton more users after they took a snapshot on the 26th of the Genesis holders, which was an NFT they gave away for free a while ago. Now, scrolling through the comments, this was not that positively received, and unfortunately it did cause the Genesis floor to dump, as you can see here, this straight line down. However, we have this tweet by the CEO of Opensea saying it's possible that holding something can lead to multiple good things. So here they're saying, hey, there's still a chance you're getting an airdrop. I understand legally they can't explicitly say that To me, that's what he's trying to tell us. Just keep in mind that they still haven't even confirmed a token, let alone an airdrop. So if you're going to make that bet, understand the risk involved, especially after seeing a dump like this. As for the platform launch, I'm so glad that we could finally talk about it because I have had a very good experience trading on Opensea 2. It is by far my favorite NFT exchange to trade on. And I can also finally talk about the XP leaderboard here and how you guys can earn XP. So I do plan to put out a video talking about this because as you can see, I'm at 137,000 points. I think I'm pretty high on the leaderboard. If I filter here, yeah, I'm in like the top 20 here. So that's great. But I did see some people like Dingling here, a notable person, comparing this to Blur farming, which I could understand his point. If we go to how it works, you can see you get points for being loyal, you get points for making competitive offers, so bidding on things, and then you get points for having listings, which yes, that is very much what Blur did for their campaign. But I do imagine that the team has a ton more planned that they haven't revealed. Keep in mind, this is their beta. Like you can see here, it's still in development and in a closed beta. So right now they're in the onboarding phase. They haven't opened this up to the public. It's only select people who got accepted in the waitlist as well as the Genesis holders. Now, the other bit of FUD that I saw was people saying, hey, you better reward the OG traders, like the people that made you all this money. And first of all, none of these platforms owe us anything. It's not like you used Facebook. Facebook made billions of dollars and you're demanding Facebook to launch a token and give it to you for free. It's only in Web3 that we have these demands. And like, this is a company. Yes, they made hundreds of millions of dollars, but we chose to use this platform because we didn't really have any other alternatives. Once there were alternatives with airdrops to farm, we all went to those platforms. And now that they have their own airdrop, I assume they're going to be getting a lot more users. But it's just funny seeing all the demands that people make. And I will say, well, one, we got this post again from the CEO of Opensea saying, I'm seeing a lot of confusion out there. Goes without saying, but we haven't forgotten the OGs who helped us build in this space from day one. So that's good to hear. And then after that, if you look here, it says retro. We can't touch it yet. We can't click it yet. But if I had to take a guess what retro meant, it's going to be rewards for legacy traders. So I don't know if it's going to be some profile here showing all your volume, your trades, your NFT trades in the past, and probably rewarding you, giving you some XP. Hopefully it's a day one airdrop when the token goes live. If not, maybe it's going to be plugged in to the season one, or right now we're in early access. So maybe we're going to have season one here at some point. I don't know how it's going to work, but I got to say, I really like this platform. Like, I encourage people to actually try it for themselves before criticizing on the timeline, having not even used it, because it is an amazing trading experience. And I have really enjoyed using Opensea 2. So like I said, I will be putting out a tutorial on how to earn XP, hopefully in the near future, because you want to start, if you actually want to do this, as soon as possible to get the most XP possible before more and more users start to FOMO in. As for the overall markets, we are in a very weird place. Bitcoin went under 100K multiple times over the weekend after the fears of the stock market crashing with all the AI bubble and stuff. So this week might get rocky. Hopefully you hang in there. Hopefully our bags do well. I do not think, no matter what happens tomorrow or today, by the time you watch this video, I do not think this market is over. I will continue covering it in my videos. If you like that, hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching another Crypto Gorilla video. Peace.